I'm here now with two defenders that made lives for attackers in MLS miserable for decades. Marcelo Balboa.
I would say I had an easier job because there's no VAR. So I'm going with that.
I'm not sure I made life difficult for attackers.
Well,
I made life more difficult for my defenders around me.
Well, no. You guys did. And you are Colorado Rapids legends. We've had a couple of people over the last game day notch their way into history as well with the Rapids. Johnny Lewis makes his 100th appearance for the Rapids. Keegan Rosenberry, his 120th start. He surpassed Paul Bravo with that, who was a legend that you played with, Cello. And then Diego Rubio delivered his 23rd assist as a member of the Rapids, tying Marcelo Balboa. So I'm going to you, Cello. Diego Rubio tying that number with you. You've seen him develop over the last few years. What lends you to believe that he is going to continue to notch his way up that list?
Oh, wow. A lot of things. One, I don't consider him a nine. I think he's better as that false nine, that 10. He finds the game, he can see the game, he's not playing with his back towards the goal. This kid, as long as he stays healthy, will keep climbing up the record book. But when I see him in the midfield being able to turn and face the goal and find his teammates, he's probably one of the most dangerous players in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Keegan Rosenberry, you played with him on the back line a number of times. He really is one of these players that Robin Fraser talks about a lot, that has been with the team for a long time. How does he set the tone for what this group can do now and going forward?
Yeah, Keegan's always there, whether it's a Monday morning training session or matches on Saturday night. He's an Iron Man. He's versatile. He understands his role, right? He's a lead by example kind of guy. I've had a lot of fun playing alongside of him, and I'm certainly enjoying watching him continue to develop and continue to be an important member of the Rapids back line. And he's huge when Robin can have him on the field.
Yep. Robin Fraser continues to praise this team for their spirit and how resilient they are. Drew, when you think of the team, what adjectives come to mind when you talk about what this team is built off of?
I think character stands out to me right now. You look at just one win in their first 8 games and you think, man, like, tough start to the season. And it has been. They don't have the number of points that I feel like they would want and maybe that they deserve. But sometimes you have to get results when things aren't going your way. There's a lot of new faces. There's some key injuries that they're dealing with right now. But when you can go 4 unbeaten against some very good teams, you show that you can go in on the road and get results when you're not quite playing the way you want to be, but you're still able to get some points. That's character. And right now, they're winning ugly. They're getting draws on the road ugly. And that's important. And hopefully, as the season goes on, they'll come back up to their mean and you know, they'll be getting points playing good soccer with familiar faces and you know, climbing up the table.
Yeah. Cello, it's built on the character, but as you start to get in this streak that the Rapids are in, 4 unbeaten, how does that build confidence within the group to know that they can face anybody?
A sign of a good team is the way they're willing to fight for 90 minutes and not give up. They're willing to keep pushing past mistakes and keep doing what the coach wants them to do. And I think when you look at this group, they've done that. And when you can bring in a guy like Barrios off the bench with 15, 20 minutes left, he can change a game for you. And that's what's been going on. Lewis, all these guys can change games for you. Are they in great form right now? No. But you're not going to win a championship right now. It's that middle of the point on are the key points. But you've got to find a groove. You've got to find your system. You've got to find just that little bit of rhythm. And I think every game, little by little, they're finding that rhythm. But at the end of the day, if your team's not willing to fight, scratch, and do what it takes to get a result at home or on the road, you're not in the position Colorado. Colorado is right there. They're right there. One win puts you right into a playoff spot. So it's just a matter of, you know, coming home and doing the job you need to do at home.
All right. Well, we talked with the team this week at training to see how they can use that momentum to get a result at home.
Yeah, for us, it's mentality, I think. I think if we look back at the last 4 games, our approach to the games have been good. I think in Charlotte, we had a little bit of a slow start, but really grew into the game. And again, the mentality is what showed up at the end, and we're able to dig out a goal.
It's sort of there's games where you just need to make sure you're not losing, and at the weekend it was one of those, so it was good. We showed, you know, the spirit of the team, and we just need to, you know, keep going and keep trying to, you know, pick up points. It's going to be a tough one at the weekend, and you know, we're looking forward to it.
Right now, St. Louis City comes to town, the new kids on the block, and man, have they shown that they're ready to compete in MLS. Through 8 games, the best expansion team in MLS history with what they've shown so far. Marcelo, you were there this last weekend. You've seen them up close in person. What does St. Louis do that makes them so cohesive?
The way they're playing, they believe in their coach. The system they're playing in this 4-4-2, they know exactly how, and the lines that are perfectly aligned with what the coach wants. The one thing they talked about last week was, we're going to stick to our principles no matter what. You lost 2 games on the bounce, and our principles, we're going back to our principles. And then they come out and beat Cincinnati 5-1 to take another team that's unbeaten. So this is a group that will press you, that will make you uncomfortable. But for how long at altitude can they do that? So I expect tactically for them to change a little bit, maybe a little bit lower block. They're a team that plays very direct. They're not a team that's going to in and out and move. When they press, they drop back into the shell, and then they quickly find Klaus. So Colorado's got to be ready for that direct ball over the top.
Yeah. Drew, Cello just mentioned altitude, but for the Colorado Rapids, where's this game 1? Who needs to step up and play well for the Rapids to get 3 points here at home?
Yeah, they're going to be tested this weekend.
Yeah.
This is kind of the it team in MLS right now. And Cello and I were talking earlier, they're like Red Bulls on steroids, right? They are high energy, they are high press. I do think, as Cello said, they will probably at least start in a lower block, but they're still going to come with a lot of energy, and the Rapids need to be ready for it. They need to be extremely good with the ball, because when a team presses you like that and you give up the ball, you look at some of the goals St. Louis have scored this year, it's straight off of turnovers from the high press, right? So if you're going to try to play through them, you need to be concentrated, you need to be focused, and you need to be sharp, right? And they need to be organized defensively for the counter, because they have Joao Klaus up front, who's going to win everything in the air. The players run well off of him. It's going to have to be a focused 90-minute game that might not be won until the last 5-10 minutes, which happens so often here. It'll be a very, very good test for the Rapids, and I think they'll be up for it.
Yeah. Keegan, after the game, talked about how the Rapids need to dictate the game here at home against City. Well, I asked Robin Fraser how you do that. This is what he had to say this week.
We have to, starting from the back, build out well. And if we build out well here, and we generally have pretty good confidence when we play here, when we build out well, it leads to really promising and well-constructed attacks.
Cello, Drew, thank you. Good insight as to what the Colorado Rapids need to do this weekend as they host St. Louis City here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. We hope to see you guys there. That is it for us in this edition of The Rundown. We'll see you next week.